hope you all had a cleansing, purifying day today. Some of you have gone to the 22 tirthas. Others have gone to Dhanus Tirtha. And others have gone to Darbashayan Tirtha. And whichever one you missed, you will go tomorrow or the next day. It is a very special blessing that we could all be together on the very holy day of the disappearance of our beloved Param Guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Today I was listening to a lecture of Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles in 1973 on this occasion. I'd like to repeat some of the things that he said. He was describing how in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Lord Chaitanya gives his instruction that my teachings and the holy name of Krishna should be in every town and village throughout the world. When Lord Nityananda Prabhu saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Alalanath temple in Orissa, just as he was leaving Sri Puri Dham for his South Indian tour, thousands and thousands of people came to this temple from all the villages in the area just to see Lord Chaitanya, his beautiful golden form dancing. And in the ecstasy of love of God and compassion to all living beings with his arms raised, he was chanting and inducing everyone to take shelter of Krishna's holy name. It was at that time that Sri Nityananda Prabhu predicted that in every town and village throughout the world, your names will be chanted. Srila Prabhupada described how the 6 Goswamis, some of them were extremely powerful, extremely wealthy. Others were coming from the highest priestly class of South India. They left everything to go to Vrindavan to establish the mission of Lord Chaitanya there. By their examples of living such pure lives in renunciation and devotion, by their extracting the very essence of all scriptures and putting them in their writings, they contributed an oceanic library of transcendental literature, both philosophically as well as rasic, through revealing the highest emotions of the spiritual world, laid the foundation for Lord Chaitanya's worldwide mission. They also established temples and rediscovered the holy places of Sri Vrindavan Dham, so that people will understand the beauty and the glory of having pilgrimages together, purely for the purpose of accessing the mercy of the Lord and purifying our hearts. Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, Shamananda, they took those books and went to the areas of India where they were brought up and transformed hundreds and thousands, millions of people's hearts. And great acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baladev Vidyabhushan, they revealed deeper and deeper understandings and realizations of the inner treasures of bhakti. It was Bhaktivinoda Thakur who was empowered with a vision to take these teachings throughout the world. And his example was extraordinary. He was a grihasta with 10 children and was serving as a magistrate for the British government. Even with all those responsibilities, he was Gora Shakti. He was the divine potency of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was showing by his example and through his writings and his words how it's practical for people from all parts of the world to access and expand upon the pure teachings of love of God. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a prayer, a dream, that someday from all over the world, Europeans, Russians, Japanese, Africans, Americans will come together with their Indian brothers and sisters beyond all sectarian concerns. They will find shelter in the universal church of Nam Sankirtan. There are temples and churches and synagogues and mosques, which are holy places of worship. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur observed that the tendency is that they are somewhat sectarian, sometimes more than that. But the Nam Sankirtan movement, or the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, is universal. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed, Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktish Tatrapi Tanyamita Smarane Nakala. That, my dear Lord, you have many, many names. And in all of these genuine names being revealed through holy scriptures throughout time, you have invested your potencies. And by chanting these names, Cetodarpana Marjanam, one's heart becomes pure. And one ultimately accesses Anandam Buddhivardhanam, the happiness that we're all looking for. Prema Bhakti. Therefore, this Sankirtan is the prime benediction for humanity at large. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was envisioning this, that kirtan can actually bring people from all different places in the world, from all different religious backgrounds, together, united in the essence of love of God, and be elevated. He dreamed that people from all over the world, of different colors, of different races, of different religions, different sexes, would appreciate the great contribution of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Come to the holy dham of Sri Mayapur, and together with joined hands raise their arms and chant Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote in one song in glorification of Lord Nityananda Prabhu that the essence of all religion and spiritual paths is to develop a taste for the chanting of God's names, and in doing so, awaken deep, genuine compassion for all living beings. Considering the situation in the world when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was living, this was a very difficult task. There was so much sectarian among the religions of the world, and in the course of time, although there were great pure-hearted saints in the line of Lord Chaitanya, there was also widespread corruption. People, in the name of the pure teachings of Lord Chaitanya, exploiting people for their own personal preferences. That universal principle where Lord Chaitanya, he battled so hard to give everyone the right to become perfect. Even in the name of Lord Chaitanya's movement. There was caste sectarian considerations. According to one's birth, one was qualified. There was also people manipulating the purest, highest divine teachings of the Madhurya Ras, of the conjugal love affairs of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. And making that into a form of worship in this material world by people who were still highly covered over by selfishness, arrogance, and lust. It was a mess. And scholars, both of India and the British, had very little respect for Lord Chaitanya's movement. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was living a pure, exemplary life. Practically everyone respected him. could have just put Lord Chaitanya aside and just taught pure love of God. That would have seemed to be an easy thing when there's so much corruption. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur did something even more courageous. He was willing to risk his life, his everything, to establish the pure, transparent nature of Lord Chaitanya's teachings in such a warped way that people from all over the world would accept it, respect it, and embrace it. There were at times threats to his life, but he would not compromise. Thakur Bhaktivinoda, we cannot imitate him. But if we follow in his footsteps, we become perfect. He would work his regulated hours in the court system of the British. He'd come home. He'd go to villages, give lectures, do kirtan, have dinner, take rest by 8 o'clock at night. He'd be up by midnight, and he would be chanting his japa and writing books till the next morning when he would have to go to work. Otherwise, how could a person, so many volumes and volumes of literatures, poems, songs, prayers, one man? It's beyond human belief. And he had 10 children and a job. He wanted to show, as he sings in one song, citing the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Grihe thako vane thako, sada hari bole thako. Grihe thako vane thako, sada hari bole thako, sukhe dukhe bhulo nako, barne hari nam koro re. Gai Gaura Madhusware, Gai Gaura Madhusware, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gai Gaura Madhusware. Whether one is a grihasta, householder living with husband, wife, children, job, rent, mortgage, bills, social pressures, in-laws, or whether one is a sannyasi living in the forest with mosquitoes and snakes. Doesn't matter. Just chant the holy names of the Lord with sincere feeling, and you can become free from all the happiness and distress of this world and taste the sweetness of Krishna Prema. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's simple message, which he established through such incredibly deep, profound, philosophical, foundational wisdom, but he wanted to give it to the whole world. At one time he was living in Sri Jagannath Puri as a magistrate, and the government also made him the superintendent of Lord Jagannath's temple. He prayed to the Lord, "Send me a son who will be a ray of Vishnu to help me spread the message of pure love of Krishna throughout the world." Soon after, he had a child. He was born February 6, 1874. He was given the name Bimala Prasad. On the day of Rath Yatra, Lord Jagannath's chariot was going down the Grand Road toward Gundicha, and it stopped right in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house, the very birthplace of this child. And the chariot did not move for 3 days. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife, Bhagavati Devi, brought that little baby, just hardly 6 months old, brought to the top of the chariot and placed him as an offering of love before Lord Jagannath. The baby spontaneously reached out his little tiny infant hands to reach to the lotus feet of Jagannath. And at that moment, a garland fell from Jagannath around the child. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, being an intimate associate of the Lord himself, he understood, my prayer has been fulfilled. And this Bimala Prasad was later to become Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When he was just a little child, he showed his incredible determination, like Prahlad, when he ate a mango. And his father mildly chastised him just to teach him a good lesson. He said, "This mango has not been offered to Krishna yet. It's bhoga. You should only eat mangoes after they're offered to Krishna." And the little boy said, "I will never eat another mango for the rest of my life." Now in Bengal and Orissa, the mango season is a favorite time of the year. He never tasted a mango ever again. Srila Prabhupada said even when he was offered as a great acharya, he would say, "No, I cannot accept, I am an offender." He was saying this when he was 60 years old. By the time he was 70, he memorized and could give elaborate purports to the entire Bhagavad Gita. And he was always helping his father. with his very literary and other types of outreach activities. Srila Prabhupada explains once when his father was very ill, he was being challenged by caste Goswamis and Smarta Brahmins because Bhaktivinoda Thakur was very much challenging that one's spiritual qualification is based on one's qualities, not on one's automatic birth. If you're born in a Sudra family or an untouchable family like Haridas, but you have the qualities of a Brahmin, you should be able to do Brahminical activities. Aho bata swapacho togariyam. And if you're tasting the sweetness of the holy name and actually living a truly Vaishnava life, then you could be a guru for the world in whatever system you were born into. But even if you're born in a Brahmin family, if you don't have the qualities, you're not really a Brahmin. This was terribly upsetting. It was seen as this intense threat to people who made their livelihood on the basis of their birthrights. So there was a challenge. But he was ill. So he sent his young son, a teenager at the time, to defend what is so strongly supported within the Vedic literatures and was revealed so clearly by Lord Chaitanya. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote a book, Vaishnavism and Brahmanism, something like that. And he showed it to Bhaktivinoda and he was very happy. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, or Bimala Prasad at the time, he went to this meeting and people were very, there were two sides. And some people were really, really angry just seeing him and what he represented. So he began the lecture by glorifying the Brahmins. And in doing so, all the caste Brahmins thought, he's on our side. He melted their hearts. They were rejoicing. And then at the next stage, he explained what a Brahmin really is. On the basis of scripture, on the basis of acharyas, on the basis of logic and rationality. And they had to accept. It was a tremendous victory. What is a real Vaishnava? In 1914, Bhaktivinoda Thakur disappeared. And in 1950, the Diksha Guru of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, left this world. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was the very embodiment of renunciation in loving devotion. In his earlier life, he was a grain merchant. He was married. His wife died. He went to Vrindavan and exhibited impossible qualities of a saintly person. He was so totally absorbed in Radha and Krishna's Leela and Sri Vrindavan Dham. He saw everything as so holy. absolutely detached from any type of sensual activities. When it was time to eat, sometimes he would just take his hand and scoop up some mud from the Yamuna and eat it. And that was his meal. He relished it. This is the river dust that is infused with the nectar of Radha and Krishna's lotus feet. One time a Babaji told him that he had just purchased some property in Vrindavan. And he thought Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj would be very impressed. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji said, "Who are you to be the owner of anything in Vrindavan? This is Krishna's abode. Every single particle of dust in Vrindavan is Chintamani. If you have the proper appreciation for one speck of dust of Sri Braj Bhumi, it can award you the highest treasure of ecstatic love of God. It can relieve you from all the sufferings of birth, old age, disease, and death forever and elevate you to the spiritual world. In fact, you will realize this is the spiritual world. One speck of dust from Vrindavan is more valuable than all the wealth of all the treasures of all the kings and the crorpatis and millionaires and billionaires of this whole world. It's more precious than all the wealth in the heavenly planets. And you think that you can purchase Vrindavan with some rupees? This is your illusion." Now, he wasn't telling that nobody should buy anything in Vrindavan, but he was establishing a principle. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, we are not the proprietors of anything. Krishna is the proprietor. And Gokula Vrindavan of this world is none different than Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. It's the holiest of all holy places. It's not the place to own. It's a place to serve with love, with detachment, with humility, and with gratitude. And in that spirit, to take that dust within our heart wherever we go in the world and chant the holy name. See my potency. In 1918, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sat in front of a photograph of Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and accepted the sannyas order. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And with the help of some of his early followers who had deep faith in him, he established the Chaitanya Mat. He established his first little temple in Calcutta on Ultadunga Junction Road. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj instructed him to spread this message of love of Godhead to all humanity. He was living in Mayapur. Previous to what we have just said, he vowed to stay in Mayapur and chant the names of Krishna 1 billion times. Day and night, month after month after month. He would just eat a small amount of food once a day. He was in a little thatched hut. He would chant from early morning till late at night. And when it was raining, he sat with an umbrella chanting and fulfilled that vow. Yes, like so many Babajis who are experiencing the sweet nectar of living in the holy land of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya. He was absorbed. But he left Sri Mayapur Dham, and in those days Mayapur Dham was very quiet, and went to Calcutta. And Srila Prabhupada explains how, when he was 25 years old, in 1922, one of his very best friends, Narendranath Malik, said, "Abai, there's a very, very good saintly person, a follower of Lord Chaitanya. I met him with my family. He's speaking tonight on Ultadankshar Junction Road. Come with us." And Srila Prabhupada said that when he was a child, his father, Gaur Mohan Dey, every day he would invite at least 4 or 5 sadhus to the house. And he would have little Abai help to serve. And he would always ask those sadhus only for one blessing, that my little boy will become a great devotee of Srimati Radharani. But Srila Prabhupada said he was not at all inclined to go, because he saw so much superficiality and hypocrisy among sadhus. He really didn't want to associate with them. And Srila Prabhupada also explains at that time he was a very active, enthusiastic supporter of Gandhi's nationalistic movement to remove the British from power in India. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was, by material considerations, practically illiterate. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada called him a living encyclopedia. He was an unbelievable scholar. Incredible scholarship. Try to read his books. English was a third language for him. Bengali, Sanskrit, Hindi, these were his first languages. But yet people like me, I don't know any other language except English, and I can't understand the words he's saying. So, what a scholar he was. He was Singha Guru. Through logic, through rational persuasion, through scriptural evidence, through realization, on every level. He was unconquerable in debate. He was given the name Saraswati Thakur because he was considered the greatest astrologer and astronomer of the time. But he put it all aside and decided, all this stuff, it has its relevance, but all that really matters is everything is dependent on the will of Krishna. We just surrender to Krishna. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur accepted Gaur Kishore Das Babaji as his guru and praised him and worshipped him with all his heart and totally humbled his life before him. Whatever energy we have, big or small, whether we're Hanuman lifting mountains or that little spider who's kicking dust, we can make our life perfect if we just try to be instruments of the Lord's compassion by using whatever energy and resources we may have. And in doing that, there can be no envy. And there can be no arrogance. When someone thinks that I am doing more than you, I am more intelligent, I have more wealth, I'm a better manager, I'm a better philosopher, better speaker, better kirtan singer, better dressed, whatever it may be. I may look nicer. We become arrogant toward somebody who has less than us. What does that mean? It means we're ignorant. To the degree we think we're better than somebody else, it's like a red light blinking saying, you are a fool. Correct yourself. If you're sincere, you're going to see it that way. So we're arrogant, condescending toward people who are less than us. Sometimes even if we're charitable to them. Oh, you need food? I have money, here's food. See, you are subordinate to me. I'm feeding you. Don't forget that. That's not compassion. Not real compassion. And when we are less than someone, the tendency is we either become envious. I want what that person has. Even to the extent where we think, I don't want that person to have that, because I don't. Either I should have better, then I don't matter. Then I don't mind if he's like he is, if I have better. But if I'm not better, then he should lose what he has, because I cannot tolerate somebody better than me. That's envy. Or we become depressed. We just think, everybody else is better than me. I'm so useless. I'm just a fool. That's not humility. Humility is when we think God is great and I am small. But when we become depressed because other people have what we want, that's just an unsatisfied ego. It's not humility. And we can become depressed. But this one little verse that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has spoken in his instructions. Preach the teachings of Rup Raghunath with all your energy and resources. By understanding it properly, it means whatever we have and whatever anybody else has used in the service of the Lord, we appreciate it. In whatever way Krishna is empowering me with whatever I have, whatever I don't have.